Welcome to another episode of Well Seasoned. My name is Brian Polcyn, and you are
At Janos.
right on, baby. We're two retired chefs with over 100 years experience combined.
Empty nesters who cook just about every night for each of our wives.
Now we're cooking for two instead of 200, but we still think like restaurant chefs. We think about seasonality of ingredients, we think about the best ingredients that we can buy, and we also think about utilizing everything that's in our refrigerator.
So with Well Seasoned, we want to appeal to cooking enthusiasts.
We also want to appeal to people that might want to hear what it was like to spend 50 years in a professional kitchen. The ups and downs.
All right, so we start out these shows like, what did you have for dinner last night? What did you do? But Ed, what did you make last night?
Okay, so this is what I had, Brian. I
I'm
had
writing down the ingredients. I'm writing them down because I think I'm batting about 500.
so I had chicken thighs, boneless, skinless. I had some onions, celery, carrots, and leeks, and I had some basmati rice and some broccoli. What did I make, Brian?
All right, so seeing as how the vegetables were celery root vegetables, I'm saying you did a saute on the boneless chicken thighs, but you sauteed the vegetables with wine, bay leaf, thyme, peppercorns, or something like that, and then juice and braise them tender. And did you say anything about a starch or no?
I said basmati rice.
So then you made rice separately.
That's a good guess, but it's not what I made. But it sounds good. I'll maybe make that next week. But so this is what I did. So my idea was chicken pot pie meatballs. So I ground the thigh meat. I didn't use any binder and I didn't use any breadcrumbs. I used I used a 1 egg white, just a little bit of milk in there. And I sauteed my vegetables, onion, carrot, celery, leek, deglazed a little sherry, cooled it obviously, folded it in, and it was, heavy with vegetables in it,
Right.
all diced. And then I baked those and I served it over a nice basmati rice pilaf with some broccoli. And I made a velouté from some chicken stock I had in the freezer. So it was chicken pot pie meatballs. That's what I made.
Yeah, but no, you didn't brown the balls in a pan or anything. You just baked them.
I baked
So
them.
they must have been a little bit loose,
No, because they had 1 egg white in it and just
Yeah,
a
but you
little bit
couldn't
of
roll
milk.
them into a.
But they were very tender, very tender.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you could do with an Asian, which is what you were talking like that. Grind that, make like Thai chicken meatballs, and add soy and mirin and ginger and garlic.
Yeah,
Be really
yeah.
good that way too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what you should have done instead of meatballs, instead of pot pie. But yeah.
Okay. Well, next time I'll call you and say, hey, Brian, what should I
Okay.
make for dinner?
I'm going to say, take that chicken meatball idea and use it Asian. So I had some onion, celery, carrot, new potatoes, bay leaf, thyme, peppercorns, and a beef chuck shoulder and red wine.
I would say with about 94% accuracy, you braise the chuck. Maybe you marinated it in the red wine with the mirepoix, and then you seared it and you caramelized the mirepoix and you slow cooked the chuck roast, braised it till it was fork tender.
100% right.
Okay.
But I did that in the pan, and then I did it in the Instapot.
Oh, okay.
So I browned it, caramelized the mirepoix, red wine, reduced it, stock, and I put it in the Instapot because, as I said, I like my life to be simple these days. We had a lot going on around the house, and I didn't want to be in the kitchen doing final touches and all that stuff. So I put it in the Instant Pot, and then it keeps it warm. And when everybody was done with their the activities, and everybody said, "When's dinner?" And I said, "Well, as soon as they're done moving that couch, or when they're doing that, blah blah blah." And when everybody was done, I said, "Well, dinner's ready." And I just opened the Instant Pot, and there was. I did take the meat out and strain it, and then I added the vegetables and potatoes for the last 15 minutes, and I thickened the juice with a little Beurre Meunier, and then I put it in the Instant Pot for another 15 minutes and then held it warm. So it was nice and gravy or beef bourguignonish, that kind of thing. Not really quite beef bourguignon, more like that pot roasty thing, And the potatoes were cooked just right, carrots, Onions were still, I left them like teenage sized dice, not small, not too large. And celery sticks about 3 inches, and I took the bay and peppercorns out. So yeah, it was very simple, but God, it just was a huge hit. Everybody, because it's kind of cool here in Michigan right now, 40 degrees, 30 degrees, and there was outside activities and people moving couches and workload and all that stuff. And we sat down and ate. It was like, oh my God, it was sick to your ribs, kind of a lot of love there. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
That sounds really good. So, and it's a perfect fall meal for late autumn, early winter in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. This weekend, well seasoned, Brian is continuing his masterclass on sausage making. We're going to be grinding sausage. Brian?
Yeah, we're going to be grinding. We're going to cover machine parts, the techniques, the seasonings, and the warning signs, Ed. What to look for things that can go wrong to ensure sausage success.
Okay, let's get to it.
All right, so Ed, you've ground a lot of meat in your life. I've ground a lot of meat.
Yeah.
And I always, people who don't, they might buy a grinder or something. There's a couple of things that are very, very important. Each grinder, whatever the manufacturer is, always has a notch somewhere on there. And then the plate, which is the size die, this is a 3/16. You go down to 1/8, which is 3 millimeters. You go to 1/2 inch. It depends what the grind is. You were talking about in your restaurants, you used to do a progressive grind.
Yes.
You also used to buy progressive insurance, I understood.
I did.
Did you bundle and save with the burger? No.
I did.
Progressive insurance, let's get you on board. No. But yeah, so progressive grinding, which is break down connective tissue. But you remember keeping it cold because you're doing it twice through here. So this housing's metal, had it in an ice bath here, so it's ice cold. The blade,
Stored in the refrigerator and then in an ice bath.
right,
Yes.
in the refrigerator and ice bath. It can never have too cold.
Well, it can't be frozen because the meat will stick to it.
Well, exactly. You can't get it wet and put it in the freezer. That's exactly right. So the blade faces out, of course.
Yeah.
The notch is there on the bottom, and you always hold it. Make sure it's on there. And then
So it doesn't twist.
you put the cover on. Double check it. Double check it. Double check it. Double check it. Make sure it's on there. Double check it. And then when it's snug, you do the most famous thing called the charcuterie grunt. Make sure it's nice and tight. Then this is the hopper, commonly referred to as Dennis. Okay, so now cold. You see the meat? The meat is not frozen, but it's crispy.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Very
so we're going to do what we call is the basic grind method. We put all the meat in a bowl, and we put all the dry seasonings on. Now people will say, oh, you're going to leave some seasonings in the housing, blah, blah, blah. The residual is so small, and this facilitates even distribution. So we've got pepper, fresh garlic.
And what kind of sausage are you making?
Sweet Italian.
Okay.
Sweet Italian is supposed to hot Italian. Kosher salt, only kosher salt. Touch of sugar, paprika, sweet paprika, fennel seed. So there's also liquid. This is imported. This is Chateau Faucet.
Okay.
You know where we get that from?
Yeah, the faucet.
The faucet right here. This line goes directly to France.
Yeah.
OCC, the LA Culinary School, they got one that goes to the Detroit River.
Oh, okay.
So ice cold water, and then the purpose of adding liquid to a sausage, it becomes the highway for the seasons to be evenly distributed. You want, when you're making, like, this is 5 pounds of sausage at 4 ounces, you're going to get 20 sausages, right? Maybe 25, so whatever. 24 sausages. So you're gonna want sausage 2 to taste the same as 17.
Yeah.
So the basic grind method, we put all the seasoning, toss it around, toss, 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 toss. And then when we feed the meat into we just feed it as
So you don't
fast
add the liquid now?
No, after it's ground, the liquid goes in.
Okay.
And when you add in liquid, you can use water. But
Yeah.
in this case, I'm using water and red wine vinegar.
Okay.
You could use red wine. You could use like chorizo. On my chorizo, I use tequila.
Oh, is that right?
So anytime adding flavor, you take the opportunity, right?
And the liquid doesn't, the liquid's job is to just distribute the seasonings.
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing first, it's got to come out looking like hamburger. If that doesn't happen, something's wrong. Get it started. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Now, if it doesn't come out looking like that, you stop right away.
Right.
If it comes out
Smeared.
they call it smear, right? Exactly. So that means the plate's not on tight, the base's in backwards, something like that. The meat's too warm. It'd be very bad. You will
Blade
fail.
dull.
You cannot recover from that.
No. So you're not pushing the meat in, you just let it gravity.
Let it drop
pull
down.
it down.
Right. Just drop it in there. The auger's taking it.
But you never let the grinder go dry. 'Cause that
Never let it
pushes
dry.
heat.
Right. Because that just heats it up. Oh, I like it already. Well, I'm going to take a piece of meat and really kind of sop up the hopper. Make sure I'm not leaving money on the table. I just double check it, make sure. Now there's a little bit left in there, but you got a couple things you do. Take it apart and clean it, or we're going to grind your chicken and bacon for your chicken
Yes,
sausage.
yeah.
So we did the pork first, then
Right.
we did the bacon. We do your bacon. We don't
Yes.
have to clean it. The
No.
last thing we'll do is the chicken. Now if we
Right.
did the chicken first, we would have to clean it.
Exactly.
So the first bit of bacon that goes in is going to push out the rest of this.
Right.
I'm going to do with that, and if a little bit of bacon gets in my sausage, is that going to kill me?
No, it's going to be good. Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to do, that's a basic remedy, this is called a primary bind. Primary bind, there's different types of protein. Myoglobin carries the blood. Myosin is the protein that gets sticky. Like you've of course made meatballs, right? You
Yeah.
make your hands get sticky.
Right.
That's developing the myosin.
Okay.
And in the sausage world, you have to get the primary bind. It's got to be sticky, so when you stuff it into a casing, it forces all the air out. And when you cook it, you slice it in half against the, you get the cross section. That's called the definition. No air pockets. So we add our liquid. Usually it's not quite a cup for 5 pounds. This I said in the recipe ice water.
Yeah.
Not ice in the water. I never put ice cubes in. Some people will grind ice cubes and
All the grinding.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do that. See, ice cube. Okay, now if it's a big batch, we would put it on the machine and paddle it.
Right.
In Italy, when I was there's one shop. There was maybe 8 feet by 4 feet, and at a stainless steel table with sides, and there were 6 elderly grandmas that sat there, and the salumi maker dumped about 50 pounds of meat right in the middle, and they sat there yapping, and they just went like this.
Yeah?
And they were doing the primary binds. They kept tugging like little. They were doing the dog paddle
Wow.
like that,
Huh.
just to get the meat nice. So you'll see, this will get sticky in a minute, and I'll show you the test. So I'm kind of squeezing it.
Yeah.
But I could do, but I don't speak Italian. This is nice and cold. I can feel my hands are freezing.
That's a good thing.
So you take about less than the size of a golf ball, okay? Squeeze it like this. Then you open your hand, it's gotta last 10 seconds. That's not enough.
Oh, wow. Where'd you learn that?
Europe. When I was testing and my sausages weren't coming quite out, I mean, they were good, but they were like, I said, oh man, they said, did not look. Got a little bit of mixing more, look.
Oh, yeah. So,
Take anywhere.
and all the sauces that I've made, I've never heard of that.
That's the primary bind.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is ready for stuffing. Now,
Yeah.
after grind, cold, after primary bind, cold, refrigerate, I like to go right to stuffing. I typically wouldn't go this stage, refrigerate and stuff tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, because the fat gets cold, it's difficult. Right now it's a perfect pliability for
Right.
the plunger to force that into the casing.
Right.
And we didn't mention this when we were talking about casing. Casing is like the perfect environment to put ground meat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a ground steak.
Yeah.
And the sausage should be treated like a steak on the grill too, with that much respect. Okay, so
Next week on Well Seasoned, it's the third and final installment of Brian's Masterclass on sausage making. Brian will be stuffing freshly ground sausage in prepared casings. You got to see this one.
yeah, we'll talk about how air is the enemy, the all-important pinch, pinch, and twist, that technique for linking, and using natural casings. And remember, it's not my masterclass, Ed. It's our masterclass.
Hey, I look forward to this final installment. And the most important part is tasting it and eating it.
That's correct.